Instagram. It's a world of perfectly curated images, glittering lifestyles, and endless possibilities for validation through likes and comments. But beneath the surface of its glitzy appeal lies a darker truth, one that we rarely want to acknowledge. Instagram, for all its vibrancy, has become a breeding ground for narcissism. It's not just about people sharing their moments anymore. It's about cultivating a brand, portraying an ideal self, and in many cases, feeding an insatiable ego. The rise of narcissism on Instagram is something we can't ignore. Stick around as we dive into the deep end of this digital ocean, exploring how Instagram has turned into a playground for narcissistic tendencies, and what that means for all of us. Hey, before we jump into the details, take a second to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up if you're intrigued. We'll be unpacking some heavy stuff today, and you'll want to be along for the ride. And don't forget to share it with someone who you know is addicted to Instagram. They might just need to hear this. Now let's get into it. It's no secret that social media has altered the way we connect with the world. Platforms like Instagram, specifically designed around visual content, have taken things to a new level. We are constantly bombarded with carefully filtered snapshots of people's lives. Snapshots that only tell the story they want you to see. There's a subtle but powerful message embedded in all this. Look at me. Look at how amazing my life is. And for the viewer, the message is clear too. Your life could be better, more glamorous, more exciting, if only you were more like them. This is where the seeds of narcissism start to sprout. Instagram encourages a self-focused narrative, one that demands attention, admiration, and ultimately validation. It's no longer about being. It's about being seen. In the age of Instagram, narcissism isn't just tolerated, it's celebrated. When someone posts a photo of their beach vacation, luxury car, or flawless makeup, the wave of likes that follow serve as validation. Each like, comment, and share fuels the ego, creating a vicious cycle where more and more is needed to maintain the high. The platform's algorithm feeds into this by prioritizing engagement, pushing those posts to the top of the feed that are designed to garner the most interaction. And so, users are conditioned to post not what's real, but what will get the most attention. Authenticity falls by the wayside as the pressure to be Instagram-worthy takes over. But the real issue isn't just with the people posting the content. It's with the rest of us too. We scroll through our feeds watching these polished versions of other people's lives, and we start to compare. Why doesn't my life look like that? Why am I not as successful, attractive, or interesting? The platform turns into a mirror, reflecting not just what others have, but what we lack. And this constant comparison can have profound effects on our mental health. It can lead to feelings of inadequacy, low self-esteem, and anxiety. But for some, it does more than that. It becomes an incentive to cultivate their own narcissistic tendencies. Instagram's very structure is designed to reward narcissism. The more you post, the more engagement you get. The more engagement, the higher your post climbs in the algorithm, ensuring even more visibility. It's a feedback loop that prioritizes surface-level appeal over depth. And when your worth is determined by the number of likes and followers you have, it's easy to see how narcissistic behavior becomes not just normalized, but encouraged. People start to curate their lives to fit the platform's mold, sharing only what will get them the most attention, even if it's far from the truth. One of the most fascinating and disturbing things about Instagram is how it blurs the line between reality and fiction. Users present an idealized version of themselves, carefully editing their photos to remove any imperfections and selecting captions that make their lives seem more exciting than they really are. It's a constant performance, and the audience, us, is all too eager to believe the fantasy. We want to believe that the people we follow really do have it all together, because if they can achieve perfection, maybe we can too. But this is where the danger lies. Instagram creates an unrealistic standard that no one can truly live up to. Not even the influencers and celebrities who seem to embody it. It's all a facade, and the pressure to maintain that facade can lead to serious consequences. For those who fall into the trap of Instagram narcissism, the consequences can be severe. Studies have shown a clear link between social media use and mental health issues like depression and anxiety, particularly among younger users. The constant need for validation can create a sense of dependency, where users feel anxious or upset if their posts don't receive enough attention. This, in turn, can lead to even more extreme behavior, as users go to greater and greater lengths to get the engagement they crave. They might start posting more provocative or controversial content, or spending hours editing their photos to make themselves look better. In some cases, this can even escalate to dangerous levels, with users risking their health or safety to get the perfect shot. What's particularly troubling about this trend is that it's not just affecting adults. Teenagers and even younger children are growing up in a world where their self-worth is tied to their online presence. They're learning from a young age that in order to be liked, you have to be perfect or at least appear that way. This can have a devastating impact on their development, leading to issues with self-esteem, body image, and identity. Instagram isn't just a platform for sharing photos. It's a stage where people perform for an audience, and the pressure to live up to the expectations of that audience can be overwhelming. But it's not all doom and gloom. There are ways to break free from the cycle of Instagram narcissism. The first step is recognizing that what you see on Instagram isn't real. It's a carefully curated version of reality, and it's important to remember that everyone, no matter how perfect their life may seem, has their own struggles. By shifting your focus away from external validation and towards internal fulfillment, you can start to break the hold that Instagram has on you. It's also important to take breaks from social media, to reconnect with the real world and remind yourself that there's more to life than likes and followers. So, what can we do about the rise of narcissism on Instagram? The answer isn't simple. It's a cultural shift that will take time, and it requires us to rethink the way we use social media. We need to stop rewarding surface-level content and start valuing authenticity. We need to encourage people to be real rather than perfect. And perhaps most importantly, we need to teach younger generations that their worth isn't determined by their online presence. Only by changing the way we think about and interact with Instagram can we begin to combat the narcissism that has taken root on the platform. If you've made it this far, I hope you're seeing Instagram in a new light. It's not just a fun platform for sharing photos. It's a powerful tool that can shape our perceptions of ourselves and the world around us. And while there's nothing wrong with wanting to share your life with others, it's important to do so in a way that's true to who you are, rather than who you think people want you to be. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this discussion, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Let's start a conversation about the role social media plays in our lives and how we can use it in a healthier, more positive way. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.
Hey everyone, nice to see you again. It's great to have you here. Understanding and accepting your own worth is an important topic for anyone who is healing from a selfish relationship today. A comment I read not long ago made me really think about whether narcissists really want us back after a split. I couldn't find the exact message, but it started a great conversation that I can't wait to share with you today. When a narcissist puts down and manipulates you, it's normal to think that they no longer care about you. Their lack of interest can make you doubt your own worth and value. Today, though, we're going to talk about why this feeling comes up, what it means for your healing, and how you can change your attitude to see your true worth. Kindly like this movie and subscribe to the channel if this subject is important to you. With your help, we can keep making content that helps people deal with relationships and learn more about themselves. Okay, let's begin. We'll talk about how your absence affects the narcissist and why it's important to know your own worth in order to move on. You should always remember how valuable you are. Narcissists don't pick people at chance. They think about who they want to hurt. My wish is for you to get back in touch with the person you were before this union. We talk a lot about healing and understanding narcissistic behavior on our show. If the narcissist thought of you as top-notch supply, it means they thought you were very important. They felt loved, cared for, and supported by you, and you helped them achieve. Since you met, you've been a big part of their life and helped them grow. Giving such great help shows that you really care about other people. Narcissists love this kind of approval because it makes them feel good about themselves and makes them look down on us in the long run. This changes how things work. Even though we weren't pretty, famous, or rich, they thought we were better at first. To get close to us, they used manipulative methods like trying to win our pity and charming their way into our lives. During one part of our relationship, we were very important in their life. Narcissists leave us when they think they've taken everything they can from us, even if we still have more to give. It seems like they have forgotten about us because they treat us like we're nothing. But it's important to remember who you were before everything happened and get back in touch with that person. My main goal is to heal and accept myself along this path. If I talked about narcissism in a more common way, I might get more fans, but I won't talk about things I don't believe in or agree with. I'm here for people who understand my point of view, who are sensitive, who are drawn to this message. I've become very good at judging things, especially when it comes to understanding people who respond. Each comment is closely read, and I try to answer when I can. I want to tell you something important. Narcissists have a hard time when they lose someone like you. They stepped over us to get to where they wanted to go by using us as a ladder. However, once they get rid of us, they often get lost. A lot of people make the mistake of checking social media, which is where narcissists often post things to get people to reply. It was clear that the posts were meant to make people uncomfortable, with the new partner dressed just like me. Because I didn't want to deal with them, I blocked them from my social media accounts. As important as it is to understand that narcissists need us more than we need them, they turn things around by putting their own worries on us, which makes us think we need them. But that's not what's true. Without us, they can't do anything. There is no one else who can give them what we did, a one-of-a-kind gift that fit them perfectly. That's why our job is so important and hard to fill. Even though they tried to find someone else, their big egos and false beliefs led them wrong. I'd like to share this thought with you. You have something special to offer, and I want you to understand why a narcissist can't just take that away. It's very important that you understand how unique you are. Does this make sense to you? I hope so. The truth is that narcissists have problems when you're not around. As they tried to move up in life, they used you as a stepping stone. People are hurt when you decide to pull away or cut ties with them. They can't just browse social media or send late-night texts instead of you. Because you're not there, they can't help you like they usually do. They could try to find someone else to do your job, but no one else could. What matters is not how you look, but how you made them feel and how much help you gave them. It's important to know how rare real love is. If you're lucky, it might only happen twice or once in your whole life. If you loved them deeply, they would never be able to find someone else like you. It is not often that you find true love. It's important to remember what you brought to the relationship, even if it was flawed: love, care, understanding, and kindness. You were unique if you did your best. A love that only comes around once in a lifetime. I was that one person a narcissist loved very much. They tried to get in touch with me through fake profiles even though it had been 4 years and they were trying to sue me and hurt my image. When they reached out to me again not long ago, I pretended to be someone else, which finally made them back off. Their attempts to mess up my life have caused me a huge amount of problems. But if you were so important to them, it won't be easy to move on, no matter who comes and goes from their life. The link you had with them will always be remembered. A lot of people think about old loves, and you are one of the people who comes to mind. This message is for people who have been abused, used, or mistreated in partnerships. It's totally normal to be struggling with this truth right now. These words would not have made sense to me 5 years ago either. It can take a while for the truth of these events to sink in. You might be using a vacuum cleaner one day and suddenly remember a YouTube movie from years ago that said something similar would happen. It's amazing how right those predictions are sometimes. To be patient is key. Don't think about whether you'll ever use a vacuum cleaner. Just go about your day. Remember that you used to be their whole world, and they will never forget seeing you. It's important to know that narcissists often lie about being happy and successful to trick other people. Don't believe them when they show off pictures of expensive trips or say that their life is perfect. If you look up narcissist vacations online, you'll find many stories of people who had bad times traveling with narcissists. The holidays were terrible for me because I met an ego and a psychopath, which ruined the whole experience. That being said, going back to those places with an old friend, without their bad influences, was some of the most memorable travel I've ever had. Now it's clear that a narcissist's happy exterior hides a deep-seated sadness. I now understand scaling, which is a way for them to bring other people down to their level of unhappiness. Making you feel sad or miserable gives them a strange pleasure. But I want you to know that there is hope, even though things are hard right now. Things will get better over time. You'll understand how much of your life the narcissist took over when you look back. At first, you might want them back, but as time goes on, you'll want to stay as far away from them as possible. I used to make fun of the idea of getting back at a narcissist, but now I know it would only make them laugh. Not giving them that pleasure is better. Instead, work on realizing how valuable you are and starting a journey of self-discovery and growth. Don't forget who you were before you met the narcissist. They went after you not because you were easy to catch, but because they saw something unique about you that other people might have missed. When I met the narcissist for the first time, I started getting strange Facebook messages from people nearby, like "Hi, how are you?" Because of what had happened to me in the past, which I had talked about in other places, I was wary and didn't get involved much because I thought it might be a trick. Later, I found out that the narcissist sent those messages to see how I would respond to talking to other women. They were sneakily checking how loyal I was. They were even able to get into my phone. During our relationship, I never looked for other women on social media. The only time I did something wrong was when I checked out a coworker's page, which led to a big fight. When I found out that someone had hacked into my phone, I understood how closely the narcissist had been following my every move. With all the chaos on social media these days, where could they find someone as committed as I used to be? In fact, that's why I was the right match for them. I care about others, tell it like it is, and am very loyal. I give my all when I say I will do something. I don't lie or try to control you, I'm caring and loving. These are the things I brought to the narcissist's table. You might find parts of your own life in my story. Think about the narcissist's new friend. You could say that they broke their privacy as well. How long before this new person starts secretly talking to or looking at other people online? Most likely, that relationship didn't last, or if it did, the narcissist had to settle for less than what they had with me. Trust your gut, your faith, and your understanding. People with good intentions are sometimes taken advantage of, but there is always hope. It's about finding the good in things. The narcissist lives in the same world as us, but they always forget what they liked about us and have trouble adjusting to life without us. Even though they act happy on the outside, it gets harder for them to keep up the act over time. Like switching from a high-definition TV to a grainy TV or from first class to coach, their quality of life goes down. For when it comes to parents and children, the bond is strong, but narcissists have a hard time making real relationships and choose shallow pleasures instead. The deep spiritual and emotional bond they used to have with us is what they really miss, and they can never get it back. For narcissists, life is really hard without you. They feel that loss very strongly, especially if you haven't talked to them at all. You have to cut off all ties with them in order for them to truly understand the effects of their deeds. That means not answering their texts or calls to make up. Some people might disagree, but I think we have the right to talk to them about how they're acting. It can help to face them directly, but it's usually not a good idea. Telling a narcissist about their flaws can make them think about themselves, especially if they aren't aware of them. This understanding can be very important. It's important to know what you're worth. Take a moment to think about what makes you special. Don't compare yourself to other people because